You're listening to Puma Podcast.
A lot of my friends put Dungeons and Dragons in their resumes because our group, the Greasy Snitches, we write adventure modules. We are published writers for adventure modules. So you learn how to write. You learn public speaking because you're telling the story to people.
To other members of the team.
You learn root cause analysis.
Yeah.
Because when you have a dilemma, all right, what is important? What is urgent? You figure out you learn soft skills in Dungeons and Dragons. It's a very good way to teach kids about moral dilemmas.
Hi, good afternoon and welcome to Thought Bubbles. Today we are talking to Lanz Frago, a gamer.
Yay.
Do I have to have other distinctions for you?
No.
Okay. And for today's episode, we are talking about board games or tabletop games and how and why it resonates to Filipino adults. Because apparently, right now, it's not just the kids who play. More and more Filipino adults play these games. So, we're gonna talk about that. And let's start off siguro the conversation knowing how you started, how you got involved.
Oh, that's a fun story.
Yeah.
So, okay, it was way back in 1998.
Wow.
No, I was a kid. I come from a religious background. And my cousins, they were playing Dungeons and Dragons. They were reading Dragonlance, all the nerdy books and whatnot. And I was so interested. I was like, oh, I wanna, what are they doing? I wanna join. But they were older than me. Yeah. And my parents was like, no, that's demonic.
Yeah.
Because it was the satanic panic situation, right?
Yes.
So, okay, fine. I don't get to join. But then my parents told me that, if you study hard, you get to do anything you want. And when I graduated,
That's when you started.
I was like, I'm going to go play Dungeons and Dragons.
Did you buy an actual Dungeons and Dragons game?
No.
Or,
Oh my gosh, I have a lot of weird stories now. So, I was at Cubao Expo.
Yeah.
And there was this really cute bartender girl. And I started talking to her. I got her number and whatnot. And then she invited me. I thought it was a date. But apparently it was a Dungeons and Dragons session.
Oh, and when was this?
Oh my gosh. 2000... Oh God. 16?
Okay.
15?
So around mid.
2016, I think. Yeah.
Okay. And then you went, and then what happened?
And then I went, she ran a session, and I had so much fun. I had so much fun in that session. So I was waiting for the next one. But the next one didn't come. And another week, still no session. So I was like, okay, now it's more of the game. I got to get more of this. So I went online. I found the Dungeons and Dragons Philippines group on Facebook. Yeah. And then someone was looking for a gaming group there. And I was like, hey, I'm going to join. Fast forward 10 years later, we're all still friends. That's how I got into Dungeons and Dragons.
Is Dungeons and Dragons the only game that you play, or are there
No.
any variations or any other games?
Oh, I play a lot of games. So I started with Dungeons and Dragons because it's the most popular.
It's the biggest, I
Yes,
think.
it is. With the movie, and then Stranger Things, of course. It's one of the biggest. But I branched out to Call of Cthulhu in, oh my gosh, 2018 or 19, I think. Call of Cthulhu is based, it's a role-playing game where you're still a character, you react to the dungeon master or the game master's stories. But instead of high fantasy like Dungeons and Dragons, Call of Cthulhu is 1920s. Yeah, historical, and then there's, of course, it's a historical horror game.
Yep.
So you try to investigate the mystery, what's going on. You try to stop the world from ending. And from Dungeons and Dragons, I branched to Call of Cthulhu. I branched to a lot of different role-playing games. My motto is, I'll play anything once. So I've tried a lot of games. There's a lot of games out there. Board games as well. I play board games, card games. Yeah, I play a lot.
You play everything. I think what resonated with me in this particular in the stories that you've been telling us, even prior to the recording, is that women in gaming plays a very within gaming, they play a very vital role in the community. Kasi ibang-iba yung strategy ng women. As I've mentioned, I've seen women more competitive, 'di ba? Did you or have you experienced being discriminated against because of your gender, or they wholeheartedly, kasi nga it's a man's world, 'di ba? Pero when women get involved and when women have these affinity to the game, or nagugustuhan nila yung maglaro, how are you welcomed in the community?
Okay, so I think it comes as no surprise that gaming is a very male-dominated field. I mean, we've seen Big Bang Theory,
Yes,
and
yes.
when you hear Dungeons and Dragons or Magic the Gathering, you've got visions of guys playing and whatnot. It's not really girls that play it, at least before, originally.
Yeah.
When I first got into the Dungeons and Dragons scene, it was a lot of guys.
Ano yung ratio? Would you remember? Like,
I think we went to a convention, a big convention, maybe around 100 players or something like that. I think I might have seen 10 girls.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I might have seen 10 girls out of the hundreds of players. I was very lucky because the gaming group that I found, they're very nice. I've always felt safe around them and whatnot. They never unicorned me, like, oh my gosh.
What's that term? Can
so-
you explain unicorn?
Unicorning is when you see someone who's not usually in a particular hobby, like girls in gaming, I guess, at least during that time.
Right.
Because these days, very popular. The ratio has gone up better,
Yeah.
so much better now. But yes, I did have some difficulty. I remember when I started running games, I wanted to run Curse of Strahd.
So your game mastering na ganon?
I played for a year and then I started running my games.
Yeah.
I wanted to run Curse of Strahd. It is a gothic horror game, campaign at least. And I remember getting comments like, oh my gosh, it's not going to be horror because she's a girl. It's going to focus on the love story and whatnot.
Also, may ganong stereotype na.
During that time, yeah, there's a few bad eggs in every community.
Of course.
But my friends were there for me. They believed in it.
Yes.
And
You had the support system.
I did. And I actually ran Curse of Strahd, oh my gosh, the campaign about 7 times.
Wow.
With different groups, and
Right.
it was always fun every time.
Okay. But you've mentioned safety. Right now, since we're very politically correct, we want safe spaces all the time, everywhere. Does the gaming community have that in place?
Yes, we do have that in place. When I first got into tabletop role-playing games, TRPGs, I wasn't aware of them. So it was a bit touch and go there for a moment. However, when safety tools became more popular, we adopted them, especially because the gaming group I'm with, the Greasy Snitches, we run events, gaming events. So we always apply the safety tools to make sure that everybody is having fun. The safety tools are basically guidelines.
Right.
So before we start the game, we pass around a piece of paper, and there's a list of things there that might trigger people. So if it's something that triggers our players, we ask them to check it off. We don't really look at who's checking what. And once we start running the game, we try to avoid the topic, or we just let it fade to black or stay behind the veil. There's also the X card. Now, when you're playing games, it's a story. It's a live story that everybody's collaborating in, right? So you don't know sometimes where the story is going to go. And if you touch on a particularly sore topic for a person, we put up the X card. X card is basically a card, you put it up, and without any question, your dungeon master or other players know that you need to fade to black in this scene because someone's uncomfortable in it. So that way, we get to engage with different stories, like horror. I love horror. Knowing that I'm safe playing this and I'm not going to walk away traumatized.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's why we always apply safety tools these days.
That's great. That's wonderful. I mean, everybody needs boundaries and to set boundaries, diba? Siguro, I also want to talk about why do you think these, either board games, card games, tabletop games, RPGs, or role-playing games, why does it resonate with Filipino adults, especially when everything's digitized, 'di ba? Ngayon, you go online, you play alone, and then you're done. Pero with these games kasi it takes time. You set it up, you go to a place, you buy coffee, 'di ba? Why does it resonate with us so strongly kaya?
Okay. So, as an adult, it's very difficult to make friends. Because when you're in school, you're forced together with people. You're stuck together every single day. You go through the same experiences. You do the same homework and whatnot. That's the experience that these games kind of let adults go through. Right. Like, you meet regularly, once a week, twice a week. You experience the same horrors, the same moral dilemmas, the highs and lows of rolling the dice, of snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. You have that together. And because it constantly happens, you form bonds with these people. Even though you're role-playing as a character, not really yourself.
Right.
You form bonds with these people, and even though you're playing a character, people get to know you. People get to know your habits, your choices, and whatnot. And even when you make the crazy choices, you realize that the people around you accept you.
So it's judge.
Yeah. Well, there might be judgment.
A little bit.
They might not be too happy with what you did.
Especially if it's a team game.
Yes, exactly. They might not be happy that you derailed the whole campaign, but they love you, they accept you, and that's how friendships form. And that's why I think it really resonates with Filipino audiences, because it's community. Filipinos, we're huge on community. Yes, exactly. The same goes with board games, Either you're trying to win against each other, but it's still a bonding experience, or you're doing a cooperative game that everybody wants to win together.
I see. So you have over here on your right several of the games that you usually play. Can you talk to us about those?
Okay, so Dungeons and Dragons, first and foremost, the most popular
one.
role-playing game. But
if you were to enter the gaming community or the gaming world, would that be a good place to start?
Only because there is enough support with it. Everybody, well, not everybody, most people know how to play Dungeons and Dragons. If you're talking to the gaming community, everybody starts with this, and it's very easy to grasp. High fantasy, magic, swords and spells. This is Dungeons and Dragons versus Rick and Morty.
Ang galing, no? May collaboration pala sila.
Oh my gosh, there's a lot of collaborations. So, Dungeons and Dragons is one of the gateway games, but surprisingly, Call of Cthulhu is easier.
Yep.
There's more math in Dungeons and Dragons, less with Call of Cthulhu. Call of Cthulhu is, again, based on H.P. Lovecraft's work. Pendragon is from the same company that made Call of Cthulhu, which is Chaosium right here. Pendragon is for fans of King Arthur.
Ah, wow.
Yeah, you get to play a knight in King Arthur's court.
Yes.
You have to be chivalrous. You get to play wars. This Vecna Eve of Ruin.
Stranger Things.
Yes, there we go. So this is where you get to actually face off against Vecna. It's a Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
Okay.
Delta Green is an offshoot of Call of Cthulhu. Delta Green is investigating unnatural mysteries as an FBI agent. X-Files.
Ah, wow.
X-Files. 100% X-Files.
Para siyang derivative na X.
Yes, but you're not Fox or Scully in Delta Green. You're the guy that tries to keep everything secret because the world is not ready for the truth. Here's an indie game actually that a friend of mine made. It's A Cat's Dream by Toby Abad. This is a solitary adventure game, and
You can just play by yourself.
yes, or with two people.
Two people. Okay.
Yeah, it's locally made, Filipino made.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's based on Studio Ghibli stories. Yeah.
Oh, I love
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of genres for tabletop role-playing games.
Yeah.
Our joke is that if there's a fandom for it, there's a game for it. There's a TRPG game for it.
I see. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, with these kinds of games, whether it's board games, tabletop games, card games, the works, what are the most unpopular opinions that you want to debunk?
Ooh.
Siguro.
Okay. First of all, people think that Dungeons and Dragons, you need to speak good English to play it. There's that misconception that only
English speaking.
yeah, and I'm not really helping right now.
But yes, I get you. I totally get.
No, pero kasi I know people who run Dungeons and Dragons in pure Tagalog.
Really?
Yeah, it's even harder.
Sound. I mean, ako, hindi ko pa siya na-experience ever.
Well, for me, it's harder.
Oo.
Pero kasi,
mahirap siya.
it's just telling the story regularly, like in Taglish.
Taglish.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only reason that you quote-unquote need English is because the rule books are in English.
Yes, and also, ang hirap i-translate nung dungeon. Di ba?
Ano Tagalog dungeon?
Tagalog. Is it kuweba lang? Or hindi, di ba? It's not. Dungeon is like...
I wanna say base. Hindi Tagalog yun.
Yeah. So, if you're running a Dungeons and Dragons game in Tagalog, I salute you.
Yeah, I've seen it happen. Dati, I think 2018, pre-pandemic times, we had this cute little thing in the Dungeons and Dragons community, Linggo ng Wika, where you run Dungeons and Dragons in Tagalog. I was not able to participate in it, but a lot of my friends did. It was the funniest thing ever.
Talaga?
Yeah. Susundukin ko si...
Yeah, I could just imagine.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the spada or something. I'm so bad at this.
Right.
I guess another thing that I need to debunk, because this is where my villain arc started. It's not demonic. The only thing demonic about Dungeons and Dragons is the amount of math you have to do.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Because
Computation.
you're rolling dice, okay? So when you roll the dice, you have to hit a certain number to succeed.
Right.
So let's say I need you to roll an 18. You roll the dice, and then you add your modifiers to it. Basically, your statistics. Are you strong? Are you wise? That sort of situation. And you see if you hit that number. And that determines whether or not you succeed or you fail. Yeah. They're all just storytelling.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like if you get kids started early on Dungeons and Dragons or other TRPGs, they'll do a lot better in math and English.
I would assume, kasi kung may computation pala dyan. Diba?
I only learned how to do math in my head when I started playing D&D.
And also, mabilis ka dapat.
Yes,
dahil
you have to be fast. There's some momentum. Yeah, exactly.
So, siguro to just wrap things all up, you mentioned community. You mentioned that these games in particular builds community. What are the... Kasi ayaw naman natin to close off the episode na parents would think, ay naku, kaka-games mo yan. So, what are the positive things that people can take away from these games?
Oh,
and
yeah.
for allowing kids to participate in these kinds of games?
Okay, if my boss ever sees this episode, I assume it is not confirmed, but okay. I assume that I got hired because I put Dungeons and Dragons in my resume. I think it made me stand out because my boss during that time, her son also played tabletop role-playing games. So I think I kind of stood out there against the other candidates. So, also, a lot of my friends put Dungeons and Dragons in their resumes because our group, the Greasy Snitches, we write adventure modules. We are published writers for adventure modules. So, you learn how to write. You learn public speaking because you're telling the story to people.
To the other members of the team.
You learn root cause analysis.
Yeah.
Because when you have a dilemma, all right, what is important? What is urgent? You figure out you learn soft skills in Dungeons and Dragons. It's a very good way to teach kids about moral dilemmas. Because I remember there's this one game where you either empty your pockets to get through a gate, or you start fighting goblins. Okay. So do you choose violence, or do you choose,
diplomacy and just give the money?
Yeah, but the problem is you're out of pocket now. How are you gonna eat?
Yeah.
So the kids develop this, what is moral here? What should I do? And I've seen kids make really, really good choices. Now, I'm shocked as an adult that they have the moral capacity to, you see how good these kids are, or you see how terrifying they are.
Yeah. Do you run these games in schools as well?
Yes, we've run for British School of Manila. We've run for Quezon City Science High School, LaSalle, Ateneo, Benilde.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, so they learned the basics of developing games like puzzles, and that sort of thing.
But also, aside from running these games in schools, which I think if the schools allow them, it couldn't be a bad thing, right? I mean, diba, how do you present these games to, I say, parents?
A lot of our events at schools, we were invited because the teachers themselves played the games, heard of the games and whatnot. But something I'm thankful for role-playing games was one opportunity I had to run a campaign for a whole family. The grandfather used to play it in the 80s, so he invited me to run the game. He brought in his son and daughter-in-law.
Wow.
And then they brought in their child. And for a year, I was running for for this whole family. It was the sweetest, cutest thing.
So, nagiging bonding moment.
Yes, because your child gets to see you in a different light. Nasha-shock nga yung kid because, oh my gosh.
Hindi siya parent. It becomes a teammate.
Yeah, exactly. There was this one situation they needed information, and the father was playing a Dragonborn, and he was like, "All right, you want me to drip acid on this guy's legs so we can get the information?" And the kid was shocked. I was like, "Holy crap!" It was the funniest thing, but it's so good to see one generation to another, to the youngest generation, connect with each other on a different level. It's beautiful. And that's one of the reasons why we keep running games events. Because you see that joy within family, communities, friendships. You really see them. You want them to succeed and whatnot. So, yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Siguro to just end the interview, Lance, what parting words or what can you say to the non-gaming community about games, about being, playing these games, running these games? Siguro, what can you say to entice them to check it out? Not necessarily to play it, but to check it out at least.
I guess for the parents, get your kids into gaming, tabletop. I'm not so sure about video games. I love video games. I play video games, but at least here, you know where they are.
Yeah.
Do you know where your kids are?
Yeah.
They're playing TRPGs. They're playing games. They're learning from it. So, try it yourself. Try it yourself because you might be surprised that you also like it. And if not, at least you know what your kids are doing.
Exactly.
And you get to explore yourself here as well. You get to see sides of yourself, decisions that you would make that you wouldn't normally see in your everyday life. So it's really a journey of self-discovery for everyone.
Nice, very nice. Thank you so
Laura.
much, Lance, for having us here and for guesting in our episode.
Thank you.